Life is good here in the Lowcountry, and one medical provider is working very hard to make sure that it stays that way. St. Joseph's Candler has been providing advanced medical care to citizens of the Lowcountry for decades. Known for their highly skilled medical personnel, their commitment to breakthrough treatments and state-of-the-art technology, St. Joseph's Candler offers a wide variety of programs and services to treat illness and promote wellness to all of the citizens of all of the communities it serves. Today, we're taking an inside look of one of the many ways that St. Joseph's Candler is improving the health and well-being of the region. This is Living Smart in the Lowcountry. Today we're at St. Joseph's Candler's Bluffton Campus in Buckwalter Place. We're going to get an inside look of this gorgeous new building. We're going to talk about services currently offered here, and we're going to talk about plans for the future of this medical campus. Welcome back in. We're joined now by Greg Minke, and he's the Director of Property and Construction. Thank you for having us here today.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Amazing campus. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. St. Joseph's Candler, of course, is known for its commitment to the communities that it serves. And the Bluffton campus is, really highlighting that in the commitment that has been demonstrated in the design and the construction of this facility. So tell us how that ties in.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So, when we first envisioned this project, it was all about the patient and how do we create an environment conducive to really good high patient care. And so we began with the end in mind, meaning how do we design this building? How do we actually place it on the site? So we ended up with a 40,000 square foot building that fits in perfectly with the local environment and the local, the city of Bluffton with its access point right in the middle of everything with the conveniences that are around us. And we created two vaults, which are something that people don't see, but it contains, almost 1,400 cubic yards of concrete. That's 5.6 million pounds to give you an idea of what kind of volume that looks like. But in addition to that, it was really about the aesthetics of the building and how do we create that entry point for the patient? Because it's so critical. We have 4 water features. Lowcountry, you envision water, you really nice, beautiful green spaces, and then we have local artists. And so you incorporate all that in there to really orient the patient to have a very calm, very serene environment when they enter a building because, they're here for very personal, very, activities, and we really want to create that environment for them to be very conducive to healing.
Well, you've done an excellent job with that. In fact, I noticed that walking in, just that calm feeling. There was a water feature right there at the entrance.
Yes.
I want to spend a little time too talking about this location. And you mentioned it a little bit about, some of the convenience of where we are, but touch on that a little bit more. What was the reason behind building here at Buckwalter Place?
Yeah, well, I think the key reason was City of Bluffton, first of all. They were great partners to work with. And they had this concept and the developer access points over 2 major roads to really create an environment and in an area that has very rapid growth. Families, children, elderly population, retirees. It's just a perfect combination for us to place a facility for easy access because at the end of the day, patients want health care where they live.
Absolutely.
And we wanted to provide that environment for them and give them the services that they need.
Yeah, and a great spot to do that. And, when you're walking through this space, it's very obvious that there's a lot of thought that went into all the design elements. You touched on a couple of them, the water features, the artwork. There's a couple more too, some of the glass pieces and a chapel. Tell us about that.
Yeah, thank you. So not only did we look at how we designed the building for the actual staff and the patient usage, but the environment. So the local artist was shot by John Alexander, specific for us. A chapel, we have 3 very unique pieces in the chapel. One is the dove, which is a It resembles the Bernini dove, so we have that in there. We have a Sisters of Mercy cross. Sisters of Mercy have been active in this community since 1845, and so we wanted to make sure we had a demonstration of their commitment. And then the last was a special stained glass piece that we created in a chapel from 1913 material that was actually created for the first St. Joseph Hospital in downtown Savannah. And so we had a local artist craft that. And so it's really bringing all those elements in there to create this environment for you walk through the facility, there's local art to look at, there's glass to look at, there's water features that create that calming feeling and environment. So it's really all very intentional and all directed towards the patient.
And that is a great way to wrap this segment, because the design, the feel of this building is really focused on patients and patient care. And we're going to talk more after the break, in fact, about the clinical services that are offered. But thank you for sharing a little bit about what went into this great
pleasure.
space.
Thank
Nice to
you.
see you. And we'll be back after this break. We hope you'll stick around. Welcome back in. You're watching Living Smart, presented by St. Joseph's Candler. Joining us now, we've got Pam Perlman, and she's the Administrator of Operations. So nice to have you here. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is such a great facility, and we spoke with Greg Menke a little bit about the strategy and just the planning that went into the design of this beautiful space. Let's talk to our viewers now a little bit about the clinical aspects that is offered here.
Well, we offer a variety of core oncology services, such as medical oncology, radiation oncology, and we also have an imaging services that offers PET-CT. It's really the only one in the region. We also offer infusion services. We have a beautiful infusion suite located on the second floor. And then we also have, in addition to that, supportive services, which was really important for us to provide to the Bluffton community, such as financial navigation on site. We have an oncology dietitian. We have patient navigators that are employed by oncology certified nurses that help patients throughout their cancer journey. And we also have social workers who help with any barriers to care, as well as an on-site clinical research coordinator.
Wow, that is incredibly comprehensive. So you're able to really provide people with a one-stop point of access for anybody who's needing oncology services, it sounds like.
Right. We wanted to be intentional about that. We wanted to be able to offer these services, the same type of services we offer in our flagship location at the Nancy N. and J.C. Lewis Clinical Research Pavilion in Savannah. We want to be able to offer just the core services, but in addition to that, supportive services, which is so important to patients and their family members.
Yeah, really important for that. One of the things that I noticed, and you've highlighted here today, is the word research, and that's actually built into the name here. So let's talk a little bit more about that.
We have a robust clinical research portfolio that is available for clinical trials for our patients. Patients are able to get cutting-edge treatments at a place close to home, so they no longer have to go to large academic sites and leave their loved ones behind. They're able to receive those type of advancements here while they have their families surrounding them.
And the Lewis Cancer and Research Pavilion has certainly become really a regional, if not even a national destination for cancer care. We have a little bit less than 2 minutes, but let's talk about the recognition behind this, because you've been recognized in the past by the National Cancer Institute, and that is a huge recognition. So tell me a little bit more about that, what that means for your patients, and explain that to our viewers.
So we were recognized by the National Cancer Institute in early 2000s, and we've continued that through a variety of grants. And right now we partner with the NCI through the National Community Oncology Research Program. We partner with large institutions such as Northside in Atlanta and Georgia Core, and that gives us the ability to just enhance our clinical trial portfolio so that we can have more cutting-edge treatments for patients.
Wow, really incredible. I mean, how comprehensive of just a place this is, a wonderful place for patients to come and really get a variety of experiences all right here under one roof and including national recognition. So thank you so much for sharing that with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Again, Pam Proman. We'll be back with more Living Smart with St. Joseph's Candler after this break, and we hope you'll stick with us. Welcome back in. We are joined now by two guests who are here. Mr. Philip Ray, who's an outpatient here at the Bluffton campus of the Lewis Cancer and Research Pavilion. Nice to see you today.
Nice seeing you too.
And we've also got Lauren Seams, who is here, a clinical research coordinator, and here to tell us a little bit about that. Thank you again for joining us. Let's discuss your experience here to start, Mr. Ray. Tell us a little bit about how it's been here at the Bluffton campus.
It's been really great here. I've had really good experiences. The people here are very nice, very caring. They treat you like you're part of the family and stuff. It's hard not to get to know all the people here that take care of you.
You know, you can really see when you come in how that relationship between the patient and those who are caring for you is very friendly and very warm. And I've noticed that walking through too, just everyone seems very welcoming. And that's an important component of care, to feel like family. And Lauren, you're part of the research team. I want to learn a little bit about what that means and what you do here.
Sure. So I am part of a larger clinical research team. We have a big team in Savannah at the main cancer center, and then I work here, and we have another clinical research coordinator over in Hilton Head. Our clinical research program is part of the Georgia NCORE, which means that we work with the National Cancer Institute to open clinical trials at our various centers and make them available to our patients. Currently, we have about 34 open clinical trials here at the Bluffton campus, and those expand across a variety of disease sites. So we do have a lot of clinical trials available for different patient populations. And I basically work with the physicians to identify patients and assist patients with identifying trials, to assist them in their care. And then I work directly with the patients, overseeing their imaging, their labs, and basically everything and anything that they would need during their care.
So if you would share with us briefly, where your components of being in research intersected with Mr. Ray's care.
Sure. So I was brought in to meet Mr. Ray on behalf of his treating physician. And that was because Mr. Ray has tried multiple lines of treatment and currently is not responding in the way that we would like to the treatments that he's been on. So fortunately, we do have a clinical trial here that we're able to offer him to see if we can get some good results for him.
Yeah. Well, the importance of that is something that I want to touch on with you, Mr. Ray. I know this is a difficult topic to discuss, and we're grateful that you're here and willing to share your story. But, to what you're saying, Lauren, is really the opportunity to have another option, to go down another path, to seek good results. What does that mean really to you and your family to have those options for care, right here in this community?
It means a lot. It gives me another day, more time.
And the thing that we were discussing on the break, this is a tough one to tackle because there's a lot that goes into this, and your appreciation of the staff, of the care, and of this option is so evident. We were discussing a little bit about the location and the convenience, and maybe how that compares to another place, another city, and other healthcare facilities. Let's wrap by just discussing that so people understand, what that looks like here.
Well, the one thing is that, the convenience here, you can actually have family members come with you, whereas other places like that, the distance could be a problem. So that's what makes it nice here, that, that I have the opportunity to do a clinical trial close to home.
Yeah, absolutely. Would you care to chime in on that? We discussed a little bit about, some of the options that are available.
Yeah, absolutely. So before this satellite location was available for patients, the patients were having to commute to Savannah or even Charleston to have access to clinical trials. And so now having this campus here in Bluffton, patients are able to come to one location, see their provider, have their treatment, have their blood work done here. Some imaging is also done here. And also patients, maybe at times that they're not feeling great or not driving, long distances to and from treatment appointments. So it's been really nice for patients to have that close to home.
Yeah, really important points, and really great that you are able to offer this kind of care here, and that you're able to have this level of care both in experience and then just also in warmth. So I appreciate you sharing your story.
Thanks.
And I appreciate you too. Thanks
Absolutely.
so much for being here.
Absolutely.
When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about the future of this campus and of care here. We'll be right back. Welcome back in. If you're just tuning in with us, we are here at the beautiful new campus here in Bluffton of St. Joseph's Candler, and this is here in Buckwalter Place. We're talking now again to Greg Menke and Pam Proman, who we saw earlier in the program. Thanks for coming back with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're going to talk to you a little bit about the future of what's going to happen here. I'm going to start with you, Greg, and talk a little bit about the future possibilities from, a design perspective on the campus itself. What could be happening in the not so distant future?
Yeah, fantastic. So when we originally built this building, we built it with the expansion in mind. So we have the opportunity to add 4 to 5 primary care physicians and specialists. We also can add a full imaging suite complement, as well as expand some of the infusion services. But the really nice part of this position in Bluffton is we can add another 30,000 square foot building. And as the community needs grow, we can also grow our medical care to meet those needs.
That's an incredible thing to know, because as you know, the community is growing,
Right.
and to be able to have that expansion opportunity is really important, especially you can keep it right here on this campus. Great to know. Pam, we talked to you earlier about oncology services and learned that this is really a one-stop place for people who are needing oncology services. But let's talk a little bit about what's on the horizon for the program.
Like Greg mentioned earlier, we built this second vault for radiation oncology, so we have the ability to install a brand new linear accelerator when the need arises and advance the cutting edge technology that we have here in the Lowcountry. We also were intentional about the building with the infusion suite, so we're able to duplicate and actually double the amount of infusion chairs that we can have patients come and get their infusion treatment. So we really want to make sure that we are able to grow the oncology service line as the community grows around us and be able to give them services when the need arises.
Absolutely. Well, it's evident that in the planning of this space and of these services, you'll have really taken into account the needs of the community and the growth and the future and what is possible in years to come. It was such a pleasure chatting with you and learning a little bit more about this. Thanks for being here with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today. We hope you found this both educational and beneficial. For more information on this program or any of the services provided by St. Joseph's Candler, please visit their website at sjchs.org. We'll see you next time on St. Joseph's Candler's Living Smart in the Lowcountry.